I'm an absolute believer in State of Origin football. I just think it needs to be well marketed, sold to the AFL fan, and by crikey, if rugby league can make a go of it, why can't football? Because there was a time where people said, well, hang on, West Coast have come in, the Crows have come in, there's the State of Origin. But that's not the case. I mean, great players right across this competition are playing in different states from where they originate. I mean, I would love to see the midfield battle, Fife and Cripps together with Nat and Nui rucking up against the Victorian lineup with Bontempelli, Paddy Dangerfield. I mean, how good would that be? And you look at South Australia, I mean, Lachie Neale played for the Dockers, went to Brisbane, but he's a South Australian, of course.
Yeah. I think you've got a good point, Mark, and we'd love it. But are they going to be fair dinkum about it? That's the other point too, because they're on massive contracts, and there's always a chance they can get injured.
You know, it's funny how in AFL football, AFL fans and AFL clubs must think that they are some special sort of breed above and beyond other sports. Do you not reckon that rugby league clubs who invest a fortune in their players, multi-million-dollar contracts, are not worried when they play State of Origin? Of course they are.
That's right, and they don't talk about it either. So no. The AFL do talk about it, or the players talk about it.
How about soccer teams? I mean, Lionel Messi has just been valued at $1.1 billion.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Barcelona's not worried when he pulls on the Argentinian top? Yeah. There is a lot of international football. You just accept this, that it's a fair playing field. Nobody wants to get injured, but it could happen to any team equally. It's not slanted against any one side. And I'll tell you, for a player like Patrick Cripps, he might go his entire career without playing in a grand final. I mean, at the moment, he hasn't played in a final. Has he? I don't think he has. Maybe one final. Yeah. So for players like that, if State of Origin became as important as it is in rugby league, you would have, at least on an annual basis, something for the stars of the game to really hang their hat on. And the last thing I'd say is this. A lot of people complain about the standard of footy. They remember your time, Renee, but of course that was a time when there were 12 teams in the VFL, and the VFL got the best players from around Australia to come over and play. So that was talent divided by 12. We've now got the talent divided by 18, and it does get a bit thin. Imagine the very best footballers divided by 4. Only the allies, and they'd be a good team too. Imagine that forward line with, you've got Tom Hawkins and Jack Rewalt to head up the forward line and plenty of other good players. South Australia, WA and Victoria. You get the best 22 players from those 3 states and one grouping of states. And if it was a fair income game, and the AFL can make things fair income, don't worry. Set aside the money, set aside the promotion, build it up, get it fair income, and we could have a magnificent couple of games of football every year. And that's what I think we're really missing out on. Footy at the highest standard. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a little bit of excitement back about that, wouldn't it? And get the fans excited and get them involved.
Bloody oath. And they would. We're pretty parochial. Yeah. Don't tell me, I saw my wife and kids getting involved in State of Origin. What's it called, where they do that obstacle course on TV?
The Ninja.
Yeah. They had State of Origin on the weekend. Yeah. It was state versus state. And they were barracking for Victoria. Sure, Victoria fell in the water after 3 steps, but still.
I've got to say, those State of Origin games that I see on Fox Footy in the 80s, WA against the Vics and Victoria up against South Australia, some of the best games of football you'll ever see.
Oh, mate. I'll never forget Stephen Michael taking that mark and handballing it before he hit the ground. Or Lee Matthews putting Barry Cable into... Remember that hit on Barry Cable by Lee Matthews?
Yeah, it was a bone-crunching hit, that one.